Hello everyone, SamuraiT-X here. Before we get to our regularly scheduled video, I would like to give this time to say my thoughts are with the individuals who were severely injured, killed or missing in yesterday's two disasters that happened in both Japan and New Orleans. My thoughts also go to those friends and family members who have lost a loved one during these two saddening events. May we give thought to those people who are going through a very tough time during these circumstances. I would like to send my condolences to these individuals who have passed away during these two horrific events, and I wish the injured ones a very speedy recovery. And I would like to hope that the loved ones that are missing do get found very soon. Well, good evening, guys. Well, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. I'm SamuraiT-X, and yes, F1 is back. And we are at Brazil for round 3 of the Formula 1 2003 World Championship, where we are David Coulthard. Yes, and in Malaysia, we actually won an extraordinary race after staying on dry tyres when it was wet, and staying on wet tyres when it was dry. And we lead the championship by 8 points from Rubens Barrichello, and 9 from Michael Schumacher, and 10 from Ralph and Kimi. So yes, Montoya is on 5, and Jensen Fernando is on 3 points. Jacques Villeneuve is on 2, and Jarno Trulli is on 1, and the other point has gone to Cristiano De Mata, who scored it in Australia. So now if we look at the Constructors' Championship, it's still a bit tight, but it's still early days in the Constructors' Championship. McLaren lead Ferrari by 7 points, with Williams another 15 points down the road, with BAR on 5, Renault on 4, and then Toyota on 1 point. So we are going to tackle this Brazilian Grand Prix weekend, God, I'm way too behind considering I haven't done this in a while, but here's our first lap, and our only lap because it's one-shot qualifying on Friday. And yes, we go out first because we're leading the championship. So here's David Coulthard, and this isn't the best lap. I did make a mistake earlier, but I'm not going to show you. I made a mistake around the second sector, so that's a 1 minute 10. The fastest time you should be doing is at least a 1 minute 9 early or late 1 minute 8. But yes, we're first for now, but there's 21 other drivers to go. Let's check the results, shall we? I'm pretty sure we won't be sitting in first place any longer, considering there's other drivers that wait, and that wasn't really the fastest lap because I know my second sector is the worst. Yep, we are, that looks like 16th place. So yes, we got Wilson, Verstappen, Pizzonia, Heidfeld and De Mata starting before us. But yes, Ralf Schumacher will get the dibs on starting last because he got the fastest lap with a 1 minute 8. We are 1.3 seconds behind on Ralf Schumacher, so yeah, we've got a lot of time to do, and let's hope on Saturday qualifying we do better. I say hope because, well, hopefully we will. But yes, this will be up before the Japanese Grand Prix, well, after the Japanese Grand Prix likely, because my videos tend to be like after the race weekend. So I don't know who's first and who's second and whatnot, because qualifying was cancelled on Saturday. And it was moved to Sunday. But here we are. We got to beat 1 minute 10 of Justin Wilson. Everybody's done a 1 minute 10, so I'm pretty sure we can beat that the second time round. So here we are on our lap. And we are, well, we're not really on our lap. We're on a out lap, ready to start our qualifying lap, nearly. And here we are, and we've crashed. Would you look at that? Looks like we're standing at the back of the grid. Unfortunately for us, crashing has cost us that. David Coulthard has hit the wall heading into the final start-finish straight. So no lap is confirmed there. Poor David Coulthard. Looks like we're going to have to do our battle from the back of the grid. And I really made a terrible mistake. That's somewhere where I never make a mistake, and I was just pushing too hard. So here's the grids. So Ferrari won 2, Barrichello first place and Michael second. Fernando Alonso's third, Juan Pablo Montoya fourth, Ralf Schumacher fifth, Jarno Trulli sixth, Kimi Raikkonen seventh, Jacques Villeneuve eighth, Ralf Furman ninth, Justin Wilson 10th, Nick Heidfeld 11th, Button 12th, Verstappen 13th, D'Amato 14th, Pizzonia 15th, Frenson 16th, Fisichella 17th, Mark Webber 18th, Oliver Panis is 19th, and last but not least is David Coulthard, after he crashed. Yes, David Coulthard did crash. You saw the live feed of David Coulthard crashing on the penultimate turn of the outlap of all things. Just lost control and we just hit the wall, and that was it. But yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot in order to well, yeah, we have to do a lot. That's what I'm trying to say. But when the lights go out, we're gonna be racing here in Brazil, and it's lights out and away we go here. And it's a decent start by David Coulthard, but it's even a slower start in front by the Jaguar. And David Coulthard's already made up 7 places heading into turn 1. Make that 9, make that 10, make that 11 places heading into turn 1. Never mind, he's made up 11 places in 9th place. Amazing start by David Coulthard. Imagine if we was at the front, we'd be well in front. Well, not well in front, but we'd be battling for the podium positions, to say the least. But we got a lot of work to do, and Jenson Button is the driver. Oh, never mind. I think that was Jacques Villeneuve who just overtook us, and we just had a contact from behind. I think that's the Jarno Trulli that did that to us. And now the Minardi of Justin Wilson has passed us, and Ralph Furman, so we're in 11th place. Never mind, Justin Wilson has decided to have a go. He's not giving up just yet, even though he's fighting a McLaren. But there we go, Coulthard shuts the door on him, and he's 11th place. So yes, an eventful lap 1 for Mr. David Coulthard, who's leading the championship. He's knocked over some cold and he's gone wide. This is definitely not going to help his cause, as Ralph Furman does pull away. Great start though, because he's moved up 9 places. I said there was 11 other cars to go, like there was 22. I do apologise for that. I was thinking of F1 2010. But this time we made the corner just better than what we did in our second qualifying on the Saturday. But yes, after lap 1 we are 11th place, but we're ready to take 10th of Ralph Furman into this first corner, and there we go. This is the SamuraiT-X, and I'm not going to pronounce all the corner names because I don't want to butcher them like Martin Brundle when the corner Junsun he called it Yun Chao, as in it's like it's a Chinese name. We're not going to do that, not at all. So here we are, 10th place finally. If this was 2010 regulations, I was about to say relegation. What am I talking about? If this was 2010 regulations, we'd be getting 1 championship point, and we've hit the back of Jenson Button here, as we are currently 9th place. 10th, sorry. We're battling for 9th. See, I've really gone rusty in terms of commentary, and we've just passed Jenson Button for 9th place finally. We should have been higher up the grid, but we did get collected by Trulli in a little mini spin. But now in front is Jacques Villeneuve, and David Coulthard really is pushing his limits, as he knows that the World Championship point is right in front of him. There we go, he's ready to pass Jacques Villeneuve, and there's contact, and they both have spun. But David Coulthard has recovered quickly, and Jenson Button has just gone flying past the P8. As we've moved down to P11, we're going backwards instead of forwards now. This is not a good start, and Jacques Villeneuve will be wagging his little fingers at David Coulthard saying, what was he doing? But David Coulthard has just performed a double overtake on both Trulli and Jacques Villeneuve for P9. Back in P9 he goes, and next ahead is Jenson Button. Oh, never mind, David Coulthard has just made a mistake and he's just dropped 3 places down to 12th. What an eventful 2 laps for David Coulthard, who's struggling to get into the championship point scoring positions. Well, he did get collected by Trulli, and then he ended up spinning into Jacques Villeneuve with no damage miraculously. But now he's moved up into 11th after overtaking Ralph Furman. Ralph Furman and David Coulthard had a history from the previous race when David Coulthard came out of the pit lane and overtook him, and then Ralph Furman overtook him for P19. But yes, the history has been reignited. This is Jacques Villeneuve as he's out of the championship points after his little incident with David Coulthard in the previous lap. But here we are, and we pass Jacques Villeneuve for P10. And in front of us now is the Renault of Jarno Trulli, I believe. I believe it's Jarno Trulli that's in front of us. Yes, it is. It looks like a Renault. And it is a Renault, so Jarno Trulli is in fact in front of us. We can perform this overtake in the first corner right now, and we do. Shut the door on him, but we've ran wide into the SamuraiT-X's, and we've ran wide again. Jarno Trulli, the door is open for him, but nowhere to be seen. So we're P9, and in front of us is likely Jenson Button, or Nick Heidfeld, who had a fantastic start, believe it or not. No, it's Jenson Button, who's in P8, sorry, and we're P9. 2.1 seconds down the road after sector 1, but at least we've made progress in compared to what I was expecting, considering the mistake I did. I'm trying to be a bit more cautious and aggressive, so I'm picking both strategies. Heading into the final turn, I do decide to take the cautious approach, but when I'm doing the other corners, because my lap time was poor in the second sector, I'm trying to improve it so much that I'm pushing my limits. So here we are. David Coulthard is catching Jensen Button rather quickly, and he's 1.3 seconds faster than Jensen Button. I think he's being held up by, I think that's the Sauber. I think there's a Sauber in front of him, from what I see. It's not a Prost, because it's a blue car, and it's not a Renault, because they're light blue, so it's a Sauber of Nick Heidfeld. So, yes, Jensen Button is really under attack by the faster car, which is the McLaren of David Coulthard, and there we go. Excellent pass, and that's Nick Heidfeld indeed. And that's P7 for David Coulthard. What an amazing 4 laps David Coulthard has had, and an eventful 4 laps, should I say. I would go into replays, but I did not use the replay button at the time. But now our next person to catch is Kimi Räikkönen, who is 4.9 seconds down the line in P6. So he has moved up 1 place from his starting position. But here we go, David Coulthard has to keep Nick Heidfeld away from him, but he's making a bit of mistakes by running wide. And there he goes, making that turn. And yes, he did brake quite easily, and he's still in 4th gear. Nick Heidfeld is still behind him, and he brakes and he's ran wide. And Nick Heidfeld, this is an open invitation for Nick Heidfeld here. And does he take it? The answer is no. Surprisingly not. Nick Heidfeld does not take that invitation. But Räikkönen has extended his gap by 7/10 of a second and is now 5.6 seconds ahead of his teammate. So as it stands, the McLarens will be collecting 5 points, because it's 3 for 6th and 2 for 7. So yes, we're 5.2 seconds down the line. We did close the gap down to 0.4 of a second. And Nick Heidfeld is now 1.1 second behind. So the pressure is kind of off David Coulthard with no pressure from Nick Heidfeld. Now it's time to catch our teammate in Kimi Räikkönen. So David Coulthard is the fastest man in the first sector. And let's see how much seconds we are. We are 4.7 seconds. That confirms it. We are 4.7 seconds behind Kimi Räikkönen. Can we catch up to our teammate as he is currently in P6 with, I like to say he's either behind Montoya or Fernando Alonso. I can't really confirm that unless I went into replays, which I'm not going to do because I really want to catch my teammate, because as it stands, looks like the Ferraris have completely ran away and they are the fastest team in this game. So if you're a big gap behind the Ferrari, it's a very tough ask to catch him. So yeah, we really needed to be up there. But we've made our job harder by qualifying in the back of the grid, and we had to fight with the midfield in the first 4 laps of the race, so we didn't help ourselves. But our laps has been perfect, and we just set the fastest lap of the race in lap 6. And Kimi Räikkönen is now 3.6 seconds down the road, with Nick Heidfeld 3.3 seconds behind. So David Coulthard is currently racing on his own right now as he's trying to catch his teammate. But let's see what's about to happen. Anything can happen in Formula 1, and normally it does. That's what Murray Walker used to say, and he's not wrong. And we are 3.3 seconds behind Kimi Räikkönen with Nick Heidfeld 3.9 seconds now down the road. So it looks like the McLaren is the fastest car on the track. Not Kimi Räikkönen's McLaren, but David Coulthard's. But he's in the wrong position to be competing for any sort of podium, as he's P7. He really should not have made that contact with Jack Phillip, and he's ran wide. This isn't going to help David Coulthard, not at all. It's not going to help him at all, but it's going to invite Nick Heidfeld to catch up to him and Kimi Räikkönen to run away, and it does. Kimi Räikkönen extends his gap to 4.2 seconds, while Heidfeld also closed the gap down. So 0.9 of a second, Coulthard was slower after running wide, and both Kimi Räikkönen and Nick Heidfeld is reaping the reward by catching and getting away from David Coulthard respectively. As we now start at 8th lap, and David Coulthard is how many seconds behind Kimi Räikkönen? Oh, he's closed the gap down just a tiny bit, and he's added to the gap on Nick Heidfeld, so normal service resumes as he gets away from Nick Heidfeld. But now it's lap 8 of 24, and this is a very good track. I really do love this track. On the spectrum of reality, which was 2003, this was a rain-fested Brazilian Grand Prix, and a very eventful one where everybody was just going off. This race was won by Giancarlo Fisichella, but to confirm everything, it was won by Kimi Räikkönen. But after San Marino, the decision was reversed and Fisichella was rewarded the win, because when they crossed the line, before the red flag was raised after Mark Webber's crash was very damaging, and then Fernando Alonso made also another a crash which completely stopped the race because he hit the tyre, then his car just went completely broken, and I think Fernando Alonso was actually concussed, and Mark Webber was fine, but his car was not, and neither was Fernando Alonso's. The wreckage was so terrible in the rain in 2003 that they stopped the race, and ironically Fernando Alonso actually got the podium that particular race when he crashed, because he was running P3 when they were thinking about stopping the race. But in terms of the Ferraris and stuff, Barrichello was leading the race, but then he ended up retiring, and Michael Schumacher, I think he did retire as well. Montoya did as well, but it was a really crazy race and a dangerous one. Thank goodness nobody was actually hurt except Fernando Alonso, who I think did get a bit of a concussion, so he couldn't make the podium and none of that stuff. And during the trophy presentation, McLaren and Jordan was present, because obviously Fernando Alonso got his third place podium, so only Fisichella and Raikkonen had to be present for that, and Ron Dennis and Eddie Jordan, and the decision was reversed. But yeah, Brazil 2003 was pretty crazy. Would I watch that race again? For the events, yes, but not for the crashes and stuff. But we are now on lap 10, and David Coulthard has set the fastest lap of a 1 minute 8.996. It just confirms David Coulthard should not be there. There's Kimi Raikkonen, and there is Fernando Alonso. Since we've passed Jarno Trulli, Heidfeld is now 8.5 seconds down the road as we were entering that rambling of the Brazilian Grand Prix of 2003. But Kimi Raikkonen is now 1.2 seconds ahead. So while we was rambling, David Coulthard was doing amazing catching. So yes, I just decided to enter rambling territory like any random commentator would, like David Croft. Or Murray Walker, but Murray Walker's ramblings were pretty entertaining. David Croft's ones are not. But we can talk about that for another day. But here we go. We are now less than a second behind our teammate and Fernando Alonso, as Kimi Raikkonen has been struggling behind the Renault throughout this entire race from the looks of things. Otherwise, we probably would be contesting against Fernando Alonso instead of Kimi Raikkonen. Here we go, we're about to cross Kimi Raikkonen. No, we don't. Kimi Raikkonen shuts the door on us. I don't want to crash into Kimi Raikkonen because he's my teammate for stars, and the points are important considering Ferrari's dominating this race and we're just stuck in P6 and 7 respectively. This is not a good sight for either of us being in this position, because Ferrari will overtake us, but we passed Kimi Raikkonen and Fernando Alonso for P5 here. And David Coulthard, nope, we have not. Fernando Alonso just did another cheeky overtake. And, oh, okay, that's a bit broken, the seconds there. I guess it's because I was contesting with Fernando Alonso then, as you can see, when we were 0.9 hundredths behind Fernando Alonso then. But yeah, it's lap 11 of this race and we are contesting for 5th place. We are going up and we are improving. Kimi Raikkonen is 0.1 of a second behind us and Fernando Alonso is half a second ahead of us. So this is very tight in terms of the battle for P5. Any mistakes from David Coulthard or Fernando Alonso could just invite the door Kimi Raikkonen. David Coulthard has passed Fernando Alonso with a dive bomb. No, he hasn't. Great defending by Fernando Alonso and great overtaking. This is a great race. But we're entering the third sector of this race, and we are competing with Fernando Alonso. We should be able to overtake him here because we're normally fast on the final start-finish straight. And let's see what's about to happen here. Let's not see what's about to happen here because the McLaren Mercedes engine has expired. David Coulthard is about to experience retirement for the first time this season. Yep, retirement has hit David Coulthard and Rubens Barrichello has picked up the win, meaning he's going to lead the championship by 2 points. Michael Schumacher gets second, which means he will close the gap down to David Coulthard to just 1 point. Ferrari reaped their rewards. Montoya got third, Fernando Alonso got fourth, Kimi Raikkonen got fifth, Jenson Button and Jack Villeneuve pick up 6th and 7th, while Jarno Trulli picks up the last point. Nick Heidfeld unfortunately misses out, and so does Ralph Furman in P10, who had a fantastic race. Cristiano De Matta finished 11th, Fisichella finished 12th, with Verstappen 13th, Frentzen 14th, Pizzoni 15th, Wilson 16th, Mark Webber 17th, Panis 18th, and the retirees are Ralf Schumacher and David Coulthard. And the curse of samurai and engine failures has carried on from Formula 1 2006. I'm so disappointed. I was pushing so hard and I was ready to take P5. And it just slaps me in the face. with an engine retirement, and unfortunately for me, 0 points. And the next race is in San Marino, and we're going to check the championship standings after this, because it has impacted David Coulthard's position and is impacting McLaren's as well, because after Ferrari getting a 1-2, that definitely means Ferrari's going to be leading after that. So let's just confirm that by checking the championship standings. Yes, Barrichello is in fact in front with 2 points ahead of David Coulthard, and Michael Schumacher closed the gap down to 1 point on David Coulthard, and Kimi Raikkonen is 6 points behind his teammate. Montoya picked up vital points for Williams. Ralf Schumacher did not pick up points. He retired. Fernando Alonso picked up vital points for Renault. And so did Jenson Button and Jack Villeneuve, respectively, for BAR. And Truly picked up a point. And then that's about it. So let's see what it does for the Constructors' Championship, as D'Amato did not pick up a point again. So yeah, Truly picked up that final point for the second race in a row. So Ferrari lead McLaren by 7 points, with Williams behind with 21, and then Renault and BAR both are on 10 points, and Toyota will be on 1. So yeah, the battle for the constructors in terms of BAR and Renault is tensing up, while Ferrari take the lead. And this will be it for this video. Disappointed? Yes, but San Marino, it will be time to respond. SamuraiT-X is signing up for this episode. Until next time, guys, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. Yep, that sucks.